cracked entirely. There's very little things to do now. Now calculate damage. Let's get on this bad boy. It's almost a game. We can almost test the actual gameplay features of this game. So let's jump in. We need gameplay. Well, no, we need core. And we need our fantasy. We'll need character. We'll need from gameplay the character template. And we need the combat. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So we got this hit. This is obviously just happening on the server, the hit. So let's test it on single player so we can get some responses. Let's hit play. F11. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. How did we manage to get a hit from behind? It's with this? No, it's still. Oh, I get it. Because we are measuring from tip to base, we can sometimes get a hit from behind if we are very close to the target. And I'm out of stamina. Okay. Okay, but in general it works great. Now let's start dealing damage. So, in our fantasy combat, we got did, we hit target, and we go through all this. I will definitely need this again to get the actual damage. And you know what? We're going to go, we're going to update our interface, and we are going to do that. So let's go into our weapon interface. Oh, roll damage equipment. Did we implement that? I knew we did somewhere. Oh, yes. Oh, we totally did that. Oh. Oh well, never mind. But yeah, it was handled by the weapon already. That's why you need to keep documentation. When you're looking for some, you should just look in the documentation before you implement it. Okay, so we need another function. This function is, well, no, get primary ability, get weapon stats, and this one requires one more stat, which is create multi, and this can be an integer. And we can go into our base weapon, and we go here, equipment, and to get weapon stats, and we make that a variable. Weapon create multi. It's replicated. This is irrelevant. Okay, and the default value will be 2, not 0. So this is important. And it can be instanced, edited. Okay. So does it change how we got it implemented anywhere else? I don't think so. We just now got this extra value, and we need to go into weapons and edit those values inside the weapons. So gameplay, weapons, and just edit all of them. So sword and shield is 2, spear is 3, polearm is 3, and by the way, crit chance is 0.05, and spear crit chance is also 0.05. Great sword, dagger. Okay, great sword, polearm, spear. Okay, and the rest is 2. So I got this covered. Fantasy combat, and now we go into deal damage. So we have this function, and we need an input crit. Hit was crit. So we need to push this value. We already know that it was a hit, so we don't need to check that anymore. We need to know by how much we did score the hit. Doesn't really matter. We just go here. We don't have anything here. So we get owner ability score because we need it. Then we can get owner again, or link this one, doesn't really matter. Get weapon stat, and now we have damage, crit damage and everything. So we got, did we delete it? Yes, we did. Okay. We can also just go from weapon. Go back here. Fantasy combat. This is hit subgraph. We want to go into deal damage. Okay, so from weapon, get current weapon. We could also do the roll damage message. And get information as well. So we can do both. Or we can do a damage text to number as well. So we can do it this or this. Let's do damage text to number instead. So we'll just calculate this. You know what? No. We do the roll damage. I'm a bit doing over the top with the multiple dice rolls and everything. This is good implementation. We don't need anything about that. So just ignore the function I wrote. We're getting damage. We know that it was a crit or not. So what we want to do is okay, get damage, add it to calculate ability score bonus from strength, save it as final damage, and here we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this, and we don't have this. Okay. Critical hit comes from here. True comes from our crit multiplication. So this is if we should crit. So okay, we got final damage. Then we multiply final damage by our crit. We can do it like this and say this is critical. This is get damage from weapon and stats. And this. And this is just outside. Okay. How is this called? It's called hit was crit. hit was crit. I can get this value from any input that you have here. You can just get this value like any other local variable because it is a local variable after all. So I don't need to do spaghetti rolls here. Okay, we got final damage. Because we did critical already. 1 minus by 20. Yeah, we did critical. Okay. Okay. I think that's everything we need, really. So this should have an output of final damage. Damage to apply. And it's just final damage float. So we calculate that damage. And now we can go back to event graph. And we have it like this. First of all, we don't need to print this anymore. It's just annoying. Same here. Just annoying white noise and text for no reason. We go here. Hit once, check. Check if we hit. And debug string, then check for damage. Print text, format text, and say instigator dealt value damage to receiver with weapon. Okay, so instigator is owner. We know that. Value is this. Receiver is the hit actor. Weapon is the weapon. Do we have weapon somewhere here? Get weapon message. No, not stats. Get weapon, get current weapon. This one. Okay. And this is the weapon reference, and you just print that out. And we can do even something more with this hit and crit. We'll do hit value. Now it's like this, and we do select string based on hit. So and crit. Okay, so if it was hit and crit, then go into A and say critical hit, and B will go into select. Once again, select string. It will go into just hit. So if it didn't hit and crit, but it did hit, then pick A, hit, and B. We can do even like this. Select. You can say if it is hit, true, then do this entire thing. If it's false, then oh no, okay, never mind. Let's get back to that. Oh my god. Select string, just hit, and if it's A, then say hit, and if it's B, then say miss. Okay, and if it was hit, then we go into this damage. And now we also need to apply this damage. So what we want to do is we want to get this hit actor, and we want to use our new interface function, which is called apply damage, right? So this combat function, this guy is the target, our hit is hit, our damage is damage to apply, our damage type is get current weapon, get weapon stats, and weapon stats, oh, and weapon stats doesn't give me okay, let's go back to our core equipment interface, no, weapon interface, get weapon stats, damage type tag, and let's go into base weapon and see, like, we have damage type, find reference, no reference, just as I thought. So interface equipment, weapon stats, and want to add damage type to it as well. And default damage type will be physical cutting. But we want to also go into project settings, and from what we have right now, we can go into here and say damage physical, add new piercing, add new tag. We'll definitely have piercing damage. So default is cutting. So we don't need to change this for most weapons, but when we go into gameplay weapons, want to go into spear and want to change this cutting to piercing. And we might do the same for the dagger, but maybe let's not. Polearm is cutting, this is cutting, 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 this is piercing. Okay, that's enough. Okay. Damage type is damage type. Damage instigator is the pawn, which is the owner but cast to pawn. You could also, from this actor, get instigator. No. From this instigator, you can just get instigator, and reading instigator will give you always a pawn object reference. So you know what, we can actually do that. This will be better because the damage causer could be not a pawn itself, but it is controlled or owned by a pawn somewhere, somehow in the ownership hierarchy. And damage causer is the get current weapon, current weapon. So we push all information down here. We push it down to fantasy data. And here we ignore most of it for now and say that if it's server, then reduce health, then do this, and then do that, and on health update. So let's go into character, into our stat, character data. Let's do on health update, and let's just do a print string of character data, get health. We can just get health as a value, or we can do an interface call. We can do interface call. Okay, let's do format text, print text. I mean, I should probably start doing UI for some basic stuff. Health at value percentage, and the value is percentage times 100. And oh, how did I make it so it clamps? Okay, let's go. Math. This is float. Oh, okay. Just seal it. Yeah, and put it here. That will be okay. We could also just do it like this. Yeah, let's just convert it to integer and not worry about anything smaller than that. So let's see if I will get proper print strings. Okay. I got a critical hit for 22. Oh my. Wow, okay, 22, that's a lot. F11. Let's edit this guy and let's say that his default health is something around bigger. Let's say that his health is 100 by 100. And he's alive. Okay. And also, let's go to our combat. Fantasy combat. And in the deal damage, we actually want to print this info. And this is text. Print text. I want to know exactly what we rolled. And I need to be able to recalculate the values again and see if they match. Okay. So swing. Okay. 2 plus 2. 7 plus 8, 15. Okay, yes, dealt 8 damage. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Oh. Oh, not okay. I thought that he always rolls the same number, but no. 5 plus 3, 4 plus 3. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, let's see. Let's see just the spears. So miss, hit, attack, 7 plus 5, 12. Error unhandled. Error unhandled? Why? This is the spear. Spear deals 1d8. Let's go here. Interface. It's just d8. Okay, not 1d8. So d8 is also important. So let's open all of them just in case. So d8, d10, 2d6, D4, D8. Okay. Okay, let's go here and let's get some power attack. Okay, 6 plus 1, 7 damage. 7 plus 4, yeah, everything checks out. Okay, we screw something up, obviously. So, fantasy combat. Did we hit, was hit, print, debug, deal damage. We forgot to do one very important thing. Deal damage true only if was hit. If no, then don't deal damage. Okay. Deal damage, apply damage. We don't want to deal damage and apply damage if we didn't hit the target. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Okay. They sometimes rolled really high, sometimes really low. Did we get any crits? No, but I guess we got all hits, no misses. 11 versus 11, 20. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we're actually dealing damage properly now. And it gets received, and it's based on armor, and it's based on other stuff. You know what I just thought to myself? That shield, event graph, on equip. Yeah, there it is. On equip. Want to also get our user and get armor. No, get we should make a function for it. Let's make a function for it. Let's make it properly. So we go to core, stats, interface, so character data interface, and we got combat, and we get those update, right? Update change. Oh, we should change it to. Oh, you know what? Escape. I don't want to change it everywhere, but let's keep a convention. So let's say update shield bonus, and it has an input new shield bonus. Okay. compile, character, combat, update, cat interface, paste, update shield bonus. As interface call on this component. And now inside the data component, we do the same, say combat, update shield, implement, and set shield bonus. Okay. And see shield bonus update. Okay. And you know what? We can actually make a few of those target dummies. And this one, for example, we can edit him a little bit. We can say that the default weapon list is sword and shield, and use animation asset it will be SNS idle. What if it's not playing? What does it mean? Simulate? Oh, okay, so he's not playing, he's just standing in a pose. That's great. Let's move this guy. Let's actually group this guy. Let's group this guy. This will be a group as well. Okay. So sort and shield. You get the user and you tell it to update shield message. And equipping sword and shield increases your armor by 2. And unequipping is just decreasing your armor by 2. Oh, also target is the user. Yes. So no new shield bonus is 0. Okay, so equip plus 2 armor, unequip minus 2 armor. And actually, if we go to this guy and start attacking him, he now should have why did I hit target dummy only once? And I hit certain shield so many times. And the armor is 13. Interesting. Oh, so the armor is correct. So I'm getting information that I hit certain shield instead of the guy. Okay, let's read it through. PP certain shield, PP target dummy, 2 certain shield, target dummy, certain shield dummy, just the dummy, certain shield dummy, certain shield dummy, certain shield dummy. Okay, so I guess I do damage to both actors. Let's reset. Let's just do a single swing. That will definitely hit both. Okay, no way I didn't hit both of them. And I did hit both of them. So I did hit the guy with his armor 13 because now he has +2 armor from the shield. And I did hit the shield and sword because its default armor is 10, like any other object out there. And if I attack from behind, they're both armor is 10 because shield works only in front of you. So that's great. Okay, let's go to tasks, calculate damage and apply damage. We got this completed and we have a custom apply damage now. This is for later functional ability component. So this is, we're already doing this. Armor modifiers, attack hit modifiers. So this is what we did with the interface, where we inside the character interface do all those functions that modifies hit chance and armor, for example, and some other stuff like shield bonus. So this is done. Those are low priority tasks. We can even say that they are low priority. It doesn't matter. Custom ability task. This is irrelevant as well. Let's do something that is important. In the ability component, link to even dispatches handle damage on server side automatically. Okay, so we kind of did that. I didn't want to handle damage in the abilities because it would force us to do multiple abilities that have to just copy the same logic, where in the when we use the component, the AGR combat component, and we just extend it like I did here, it doesn't matter what ability, what animation, what triggers it, it will always handle properly. Link to event dispatchers, we already done that, so there are event dispatchers handle damage on server side automatically. The hits are being handled on the server side, so it is done.